don't end up like Kodak. Now, Kodak Instamatic cameras in the 1970s and the 1980s, long before many of you watching this were even born, was perhaps one of the world's most famous organisations. Everybody had one. Everybody had a Kodak Instamatic camera. And what did they do? Well, you used to have to put some film in here, you closed the back, and you took some pictures. And when you went on holiday, you would only be able to take 24 or 36 pictures, depending on how many pictures the film could take. And when you got back from your holiday, you had to take the film, i.e. the plastic out of the back of the camera, and you had to put the film in an envelope with a cheque for, say, 29p, if anybody can remember what a cheque was. And then you had to put it in a post box, the envelope with the film in, and you'd post it off to a developer who would develop your photos, and 2 weeks later, your pictures came back. There wasn't too much of the pouting of your lips and does my bottom look big in this and sharing it with the world. Gosh, can you imagine how we actually survived with only having this instead of today's common technology? So Kodak ruled the world. Everyone in the world seemed to have one of these. So what happened to Kodak? Well, believe it or not, in 1978, a gentleman called Stephen Sasson actually invented the digital camera. And he worked for, yes, you've guessed it, Kodak. But the senior people at Kodak decided, no, this will put us out of business because we make our money by selling film. Well, it did put them out of business because they didn't future-proof themselves. They didn't look at what next and all the other advice that I give on my Future-Proofing Yourself channel. They just carried on doing what they've always done. So where's Kodak now? Well, yes, there's not much left of them. They do some high-end medical cameras and specialised cameras, but they certainly weren't the force that they used to be. Now, had they future-proofed themselves, I would argue we'd all be walking around with Kodak digital devices. And obviously there's a couple of other organisations that have taken on that mantle and, yeah, are ruling the world. So don't let yourself become like Kodak. I think it's a really good story. If you're too young to remember Kodak Instamatic cameras, go and ask your parents. If you can remember those times and you've got a few more years left in your career, in other words, my generation, embrace new technologies, look at new ways of doing things, don't end up like Kodak, manage your personal development and future-proof yourself and enjoy the journey. Naturally, need any help, please do get in contact.